Good afternoon, everyone. It's Soni from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about change and our openness to it. And it's interesting to me to have contemplated this today because I work with change all the time, and I think we're all living through change all of the time. And yet, do we change? Do we change our thoughts, our words, our behavior? And is it consistent change, or do I just give it a try for one time and then change it back to what I'm used to? And majority of people are in fixed patterns that sometimes, most times, they're not even aware of. So today I thought I'd share a few quotes with you to share this idea. And the first one is by Mark Twain. And this says, an open mind leaves a chance for someone to drop a worthwhile thought in it. An open mind leaves a chance for someone to drop a worthwhile thought in it. And this is what I feel is so useful for us to start with when we're thinking about changing. And of course, we can't change anything outside of ourselves or other people, right? Which is often the space that people are more than happy to see change, right? If only that person would change, or if only this person would change, or if only this environment would change, or only anything outside of us feels so much easier, right? And yet it's when we're changing ourselves, and that's true learning, right? Now, of course, my clients come to me, and of course, I got loads of friends that also ask me for my advice or suggestions about different things. And I'm always so touched to be included and participating in that communication. Now, remember recently I made a video about communication and what communication truly entails. But if we include this idea of this open mind, and it leaves a chance for someone to drop something, right? Drop something worthwhile. It's not even that people are hearing information that's useless to them. So someone is asking someone, and this could be myself, or it could be you're asking someone for some advice or some detail or some suggestion for a situation that you're in. Now you're asking anyways, and this is what I see with friends and clients that I work with. People are asking and they listen, but in one ear and out the other. Many times it's people listen to respond or react. They might respond very nicely in terms of, okay, thanks, but no, I'm going to do this. And so they're already fixed, and I'm doing this, or this is how I see it, or this is what's useful to me. Well, if you're asking for a suggestion, then listen and participate in what has been suggested. And this is, again, not only myself, but think about how we communicate with each other. And when we're asking, truly asking, of course, if we ask the universe for some direction, we also have to listen, right? And listen and be open to things to drop in. And unless we're in that space of receptivity, we don't. We completely brush it over and move on to the next task or next thought that's in our own mind. And that's not really true communication, right? So then I came across another quotation, and this one says, true wisdom will enable man to judge other persons with an impartial mind. True wisdom will enable man to judge other persons with an impartial mind. Now, remember, when you're thinking about judgment, or when most of us are thinking about judgment, we either think this is right or this is wrong, or this is good, this is bad, right? That's kind of the judgment. And yet, when we have an impartial mind, we can see it all, right? We can see this is the good, this is the not so good, this is the right aspect of this for me, and this is not right for me. So we can look at all of that in a more expansive way. And this requires an impartial mind. So this again is that open mind that is able to receive, that is also able to judge. I say loosely because it's in the quotation, but I'll say acknowledge, right? We could say that we're just having an awareness about different aspects of a situation. And remember that this is kind of mostly what emotional intelligence is all about too. And only when we can see through the perspective of another's eyes can we really have empathy and compassion, right? This includes people that are close to us that we're asking for guidance or direction from, that if we are asking anyways, why waste that time with jumping right back into our own thoughts? Because that's not really a mind that's ready to change, right? It's not really receptive to change. It's really wanting agreement with where it's at. So if something is along the same lines of where that mind is already at, that person will say, yes, that's what I think too, right? And yet, something about something new being dropped into the mind takes this open, impartial mind. And today, I'd love for you to sit and think, how is your communication with people? Are you receiving direction or advice from wherever you're asking for it from? Is it received from a place of, I'm listening and I'm acknowledging it? I am ready to change how I'm thinking. And then ready to change how I'm thinking. A lot of people can get lost in thought and just think about that forever. That, well, yeah, that sounds really good and that sounds really nice. And whether we listen to a lecture, we read a book, or we do anything in terms of our learning, take courses, any of this, it doesn't matter unless it actually changes us, right? And changes us in terms of, I think differently about this. Now, we can be lost in the thought process forever and yet never actually take action towards the exact situation that we're trying to work on. And we'll see a lot of times the action we need to take is actually very similar in a few different directions of our lives. Let's say someone doesn't speak so comfortably at work. They're very shy. They might be very shy at home too. So this translates into different aspects of our lives. The things that we need to work on or things that we're choosing to change is actually affecting our whole lives. And so when we are choosing to hear something, if we can hear with open ears and minds, we know that we're actually doing the work that it is required to take the next step. And if we're asking for some direction for the next step, be ready to do the work, because that is what creates, I'm going to say miracles. It's honestly, unless we're actually taking something seriously to do something different, we're not going to change. And this is what the history of mankind has been, right? That we feel we already know. Yeah, I'm a good person and other people are not so good. And so I'm just going to keep on doing what I do, just more of it. And if we can be truly honest with ourselves, we can all improve. So we can all improve if we take a mindful attention to do so. So today, for 5 minutes, see if there's one space, one uh, person, one situation that you can look at something from a truly open mind and allow a receptivity to hear what's being said, which actually changes what you're doing. I wish you a fantastic time with trying to experiment with that, because unless we actually try things, yeah, it just becomes a lot of talk, right? So the final quotation I'd like to share with you is by Albert Einstein. And this one says, the measure of intelligence is the ability to change. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change. Now remember, ability means actually doing, right? It's not just hearing, smiling, thinking, getting lost in thought. It's actually doing something, right? It's actually changing something in us. Right at our core, right? So today I would recommend that for all of us. I hope that you're able to listen with an open mind and to come from the space of wisdom, of an impartial mind. I wish you a fantastic day ahead, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.